Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great day so far. First and foremost, welcome and thank you for taking the time to join today's webinar on GrabGifts. As you know, we're 6 weeks away from a brand new year, and you're probably thinking of ways to express gratitude to your employees and customers that are thoughtful, genuine, creative, and most importantly, useful as well. So in today's webinar, we will share how GrabGifts can help you with this. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Jaislyn. I'm one of the key account managers at Grab for Business, and I will be your host for today. As for our panel of speakers, we have our regional head of marketing, Hassan Alsagov, and two of our regional managers for Grab for Business, Kian O'Neill and Camille Darman. All right, before I hand it over to our speakers, I would like to go through the agenda for today's webinar. Ali, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so we will begin with an introduction to GrabGifts by Camille, followed by some insightful GrabGifts use cases by Kian, and insights on Grab Malaysia's festive campaigns by Hassan as well, where he will be sharing how users can stack GrabGift vouchers with merchant-funded discounts to enjoy higher savings. We will then end today's webinar with a Q&A session. So do leave your questions in the Q&A section throughout the webinar, and our speakers will address the questions during the Q&A session. So without further ado, I would like to call on Camille to start today's session with an introduction to GrabGifts. Over to you, Camille.
Thank you, Jaislyn. Hello, everyone. Ali, can you go to the next slide? Next one. All right, so I think in general, what I wanted to cover today is more on what is GrabGift. I think in a nutshell, everybody loves to get something. Everybody loves to be the end recipient of a gifting, but sometimes on the person who actually thinks about, oh, what do I need to give to either my friend, to either my families, or to either my employees, it can be very stressful. So GrabGift, it's a digital e-gifting that you can choose how do you want it to appear to the end user. You can choose the denomination, and you can also choose the start date of the voucher. So essentially, the key takeaway from GrabGift, it is a digital e-voucher that offers a fixed value discount, and the customer or the end user can now choose what do they want to use this voucher for, whether it's going to be their next car ride, whether it's going to be their next food order, or even grocery shopping in our supermarket, or even parcel delivery. Next, Ali. So I mentioned just now the fact that an end user can actually use the Grab voucher for any of the 4 main services in Grab: transport, express, food, and mart. This is the new feature that we introduced to the market that allows the end user to be empowered. So you don't have to worry about, oh, whether or not if I'm going to buy Grab food, they will actually like it, they will redeem it. You can just buy a Grab gift from us, and it will cover any of these 4 availability from the Grab app for your user to actually pick and choose from. Next, Ali. So what's more fun about this new Grab gifting that we had launched a couple of months ago is we tried to create that kind of interaction with your employee, with the end user, or even your customer that you're sending this Grab gift. So you can now choose 6 different card style, or card type as we call it, to match the theme and to match what is the key messaging that you wanted your end user to see. So once you actually get what we call as a voucher link, and then you send this voucher link to your end user, once they click, they will actually be seeing this page first, which is the card style first. So this is just to create that kind of engagement with the end user. Next. And on top of that, you can also create a thoughtful messaging, a customized messaging, whether you're thinking, oh, I'm going to use this Grab gift to delight my employee for the upcoming Christmas, New Year, or even like upcoming Chinese New Year, which is going to be in January. You can actually customize the messaging or the script here. We allow up to like 100 characters in terms of messaging, so there's a lot of things to write here. Most of the time you write, hey, thank you for attending this webinar, or even thank you for joining this maybe a town hall, or great work in Q4 2022 as a motivation drive. This is your bonus or 500 ringgit Grab voucher, for example. So the reason why we do this is to create that kind of more intimate or more thoughtful messaging for the end user. And this is really up to you. You wanted however you wanted to actually write the text within this card. So if you remember just now, the card style with all the balloons, with all the confetti, once they click on that, they will actually reach to this next page, which you can then customize it to your own personal branding. Next, Sunny. Right, so once they actually have received these first two steps, and the third step here depends on really what is the voucher value that you're giving to the end user. If you're giving anything less than 50 ringgit, it's very straightforward, where the end user will just receive the whatever value that you're giving to them into their My Rewards in-app, which will be covered in the next slide. But if you're giving anything above 50 ringgit, so this is the fun part about GrabGift. We now allow the end user to actually break down 50 ringgit or more voucher to have a multiple use or multiple redemption. So for this part, right, you don't really have to stress, you don't really have to struggle about, oh, what is the breakdown value, what is the combination, what is the probability of 50 ringgit, because this is all set up already inside the app. So once your value of Grab voucher is worth of 50 ringgit and more, the end user will actually see a screen where they can have the option to choose, oh, I wanted to just use one time of 50 ringgit, or I wanted to use multiple times of 50 ringgit. Typically, our voucher denominations in terms of breakdown is in the format of 10 ringgit and 20 ringgit. So once they actually redeem, let's say I want to use it one time, I want to use it multiple times, they can then be opted for the second page where they choose what type of service do they want to use it for. So essentially what we provide in the market when it comes to GrabGift is the messaging of you decide what you really want to do with your voucher. Do you decide to do multiple redemption? Do you decide to just do one redemption? And what type of redemption do you want to use this voucher for, whether it's for food, whether it's for car, whether it's for mart or even express. Next. And now you might be wondering, right, like, okay, now I have the voucher, I have the GrabGift, this is really cool, but how does the end user actually now applies it? So the wonderful thing about GrabGift is you don't have to key in anything inside the app. You don't have to remember, any kind of promo code. What happened with the new GrabGift is it will actually store inside the end user or inside your customers' Grab My Reward. Whenever they are ready to use it, they can just click on the offer and then they will see all the available offers inside the app, including the Grab voucher that you have just given to the end user. So if you look at slightly to the right, it will also show you if the end user chooses to have a multiple breakdown, how many breakdowns that the end user remains, either 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you have the click to action button, which is a use now button. When they click, it will actually apply to their order immediately on top of whatever that they're purchasing for that particular transaction. All right, I think that's all you need to know about GrabGift. It is very easy. It's very straightforward in terms of the steps. I just wanted to cover, what is it all about? It is a digital e-gifting, and the keyword is it empowers your end user to decide and to choose what do they want to use a voucher for. And they also have multiple breakdowns for them to actually use according to their own liking within the Grab services. So without further ado, I pass the floor to Kian to cover some of the popular use cases that he has experienced in the field to share with everyone, to just give some sort of learnings as well. Over to you, Kian.
Thanks, Camille. And hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope everyone's having a great start to the week and a good Tuesday. So as Camille introduced me, I'm Kian. I lead our regional key accounts team over at Grab for Business, based out of Singapore, but I cover Southeast Asia. In fact, I was over in Malaysia last week for those of our Malaysian guests on the call. So today I'll be talking about use cases of GrabGifts. I've been with Grab for 3.5 years, so I've seen people use GrabGift vouchers in all kinds of ways. Camille kind of talked about some of the customization and the different features that we have at GrabGifts to make sure that your gift vouchers are tailored for any kind of experience that you have. So today I'm going to use a couple of examples, but also, possible ideas that you can take back about how you can use GrabGift vouchers or any other voucher for that matter, for your employees or for events or even for marketing initiatives. So with all of those customization abilities that we have on GrabGifts, it means that it's really a solution for any occasion. So be it someone's birthday, a farewell, be it a festive giveaway like we have coming up, or even just you know, a once-off reward, right? GrabGift is a perfect solution. So talking about you know, festive seasons and festivities, right? A lot of companies look at different ways that they can motivate employees. I think demotivation in the workplace across the globe is at all-time highs. So there is no better time to look into different ways that you can motivate and incentivize your employees, and also clients. In times where people are really watching their balance sheet, customer churn is at its highest rates. And for that matter, it is imperative, it's absolutely vital that you look after your employees and your clients. GrabGifts offers a perfect way to do that. You can offer GrabGifts, and with the ability for the recipient to now choose how they want to use that GrabGift, you're essentially offering them an all-in-one voucher that allows them to use it on meals, to feed themselves or their family, or themselves for a date. Or they can use it to get to the movies, or go anywhere that they want. Whatever they want to do with it, Grab, being a super app, offers them choice. And similarly with clientele, right? If you're talking about how to motivate and incentivize clients or partners, you can't do so with cash or cash equivalents. There are a lot of implications and compliance rules there. So why not do it with a Grab gift voucher, with a voucher that brings energy to them, and with the ability to add in messages, to add in a little flavor to your gift so that it shows the emotions that you're trying to display. It becomes even more personalized. And what that results in is people feeling appreciated, motivated, and just having a closer bond, which I think is really important at this time of year. Next is actually events. And I'm not sure how many people are on the call have been to real person events. I know that this one today is a webinar, but I myself and my team have been to multiple events in person over the last 6 months, and it feels really great. Right. Sorry for dragging you all into this webinar, and I hope that you're doing it from the comfort of your home or your office. But the thing is, now there's a bit more choice, right? So real life events are coming back. We've got people going to MICE events or even weddings, whatever it is. Getting people to go from getting used to webinars to actually getting in-person events. For a lot of people, they're happy and motivated to go back to events. But for some people, they much prefer webinars. So how do you motivate people to actually attend your events? How do you make it easy and seamless for them to attend their events? Same way that it would be if they were to just dial into a webinar like this. Well, GrabGifts, they offer a perfect solution. You can offer someone transportation vouchers as opposed to a unique or an unlimited kind of Grab voucher that works across platform. You can offer them a transport voucher. And with our customization features underneath, you can actually have a geo-fenced so that the recipients of those vouchers can only use it going to or from the venue that you've decided, or even just to or just from. You can also have it time fenced so that they can only use it during the time of your events and on specific dates. If you want to give them a more premium feel, you want to have them ride in style, give them a luxury or a premium vehicle to get to or from your event as well. And this is a perfect solution for dinner and dance, you know, D&D end of year events, as well as MICE events. Because what it offers is, you know, instead of having to get everybody into a big shuttle bus and actually in places where people are trying to avoid right now, you can actually give them a personalized trip to or from your event. So a lot of different ways that you can use Grab gift vouchers when it comes to events. But there are a lot of things that we can do to make it still feel personal. And last but not least, in terms of the use case or the themes in which you can use Grab gift vouchers, we have product bundling. Again, in times where, you know, there's economic uncertainty, companies are doing all they can to increase sales, right? To acquire new customers, to promote their brand, and doing so in a way whereby margins may be tight. You also want to have, you know, you want to use some sort of marketing initiatives that help you control your income, right? And make sure that your revenue is margin positive. So doing so with an actual fixed value discount makes that very achievable. A couple of use cases that I can show you now, an actual case studies from some of our clients that have used Grab gift vouchers in the recent past. Starting off with Kellogg's. So Kellogg's last year launched a new product, right? They're very retail dependent, but they also do some e-commerce initiatives. But they rely very heavily on digital marketing. But when it comes to a physical product launch, sometimes you also need some presence in store. So they created this omni-channel campaign where they actually incentivize people to partake in a social media campaign. So they asked people to go to the store, pick up their box of Kellogg's, or even buy it from e-commerce platforms or from Grab, wherever they wanted to get their Kellogg's. It didn't matter. All they had to do then, and this was on the branding, they had to just take a picture of their Kellogg's Choco Magic. They had to talk about how it made their child's morning brilliant and magical, tag a few friends, put in a hashtag, and then they stood a chance to win a Grab gift voucher. The kind of synopsis or the after effect of this campaign, it was a better performing contest. They had a huge amount of user-generated content on social media, and they had 100% redemption rates on their Grab gift vouchers. They considered it a massive success. It was listed as one of their better campaigns of the year as well. A second example that I have to share with you today from a customer's marketing incentive campaigns. We had Carlsberg, who actually do frequently use Grab gift vouchers to promote their Celebrate Responsibility campaign. Similarly, Heineken have done some similar campaigns in the past, where essentially they are asking you to drive, or not to drive rather, and to behave, right, to drink responsibly. And when they do that, the first 5,000 users that are drinking at a bar or have purchased a Carlsberg can use this promo code or Grab gift voucher to take 10 ringgit off their transport between certain times and between certain destinations. So again, a hugely successful campaign to promote a good initiative, and all vouchers were fully redeemed before the end of the campaign. Similarly with Heineken, these things tend to, especially when you're giving something out for free, right? Especially if it's back from a bar or a restaurant, it was a huge success. And thirdly, today I wanted to share so we've got FMCG or food products. Then we had alcohol products, and now we've got skincare, right? So what I'm trying to say is Grab gift vouchers are they're product agnostic. They can be used across any type of brand, any type of product. Companies or individuals will always flock towards an incentive that gives Grab gift vouchers. So Innisfree used this one where they were trying to increase sales on e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms have an endless amount of different products, especially in the skincare category. So they wanted to stand out. So they offered this this campaign where the first 100 orders received a $10 Grab gift voucher. Not only were they fully redeemed, they were fully redeemed within 5 days. And they even saw sales continue to accelerate after the campaign was over, which showed that this initiative not only boosts sales during the campaign period, but also afterwards, as it's still kind of with increased sales and increased demand, it gets put to the top of e-commerce sites, and more employees or more individuals are going to be interested in purchasing. So again, three successful campaigns, and these are just 3 examples of the many, many different ways in which our customers use GrabGifts to incentivize their customers. So I hope that gives you a little bit of flavor in how GrabGifts can be used. I'd now like to hand over to Hassan, who's going to talk a little bit more about Grab's own festive campaigns. Thank you.
Thanks. So last but not least, I think I'd like to use this opportunity to invite you all to see how excited we are when it comes to festivities. In fact, they are some of the most creative moments for Grab. And if you look across Malaysia, many brands look towards these moments to create amazing campaigns, right? And we've been honored and fortunate to win a few awards for the work that we've been doing. But today I'd like to show you a new side of it, right? So if you see on the next slide, one of the things that we've been learning at Grab, right, is that throughout the MCO period and post-pandemic, we've seen Grab start to play an even more important role during festivities, right? And as we expand the services that we offer, we can support festive planning a lot more stronger, right? And likewise, we've seen GrabGifts starting to play a new role for employee engagement, like my colleagues were sharing earlier. And what makes Grab unique is that we're not just serving consumers about planning, but it also translates into creating more income opportunities for our community of partners, be it driver, delivery, or merchant partners on the platform. Next slide. Now, if we take a look at Chinese New Year, for example, a long time ago, people might have used Grab to catch a ride to the airport and to balik kampung. But today, Grab can actually offer many, many different services to help with that festive planning, to help with that festive celebration, right? From ordering yisang to ordering cookies, mandarin oranges, or even giving ang pao through peer-to-peer transfer or purchasing Grab gifts. And what we've been seeing is that the number of merchants that participate have been growing tremendously. And what that translates into is greater selection for consumers. We've also been seeing the growth of business among those participating merchants grow healthily. And what that means is more and more merchants want to keep joining our campaigns as we progress through the year. And lastly, from a brand perspective, it's starting to build more credibility, awareness, and affinity for Grab. In the next slide, you'll notice that we also apply the same approach to another festivity, which is also happening in the coming quarter, Ramadan Raya. And with Ramadan Raya, similarly, we see merchant participation, merchant growth working really, really well. And our fleet of services, whether it's even catering to social sellers who use Grab Express to send items, or even corporates who are sending items and gifts to customers and clients through Grab Express. And what's unique about the recent years, we've even been able to start getting people excited about donating to causes through the use of the Grab ecosystem, such as Grab Rewards. Now, today, in the next slide, I'm going to be sharing something new and something that's unique to this audience, right? Because a lot of you would have seen that we now have a program or a membership program called Grab Unlimited. And Grab Unlimited gives you discounts such as unlimited free delivery across food, mart, specialized ride services, and even vouchers for different services across Grab. And what's unique now is we're actually going to be taking this program and we're going to be injecting it into our festive campaigns in the coming quarter. So the next slide, imagine what your clients and employees can enjoy, right? When we take Grab Unlimited and we marry that together with GrabGifts. And what you'll see here is an example on the screen here where recipients of your vouchers are able to stack those vouchers together with the promos that we're offering through our membership program and be able to unlock unreal value, unreal deals. And that just creates even more attractiveness for people to be on the receiving end of GrabGifts. Next slide. So for this coming Chinese New Year, we're going to be working with a popular character called Danny Aboy, right? And in his way of helping us bolster our campaign message, we'll be delivering the concept of Grab Unlimited. Next slide. And together with our signature Chinese New Year concept of whatever you want, this year or this coming Chinese New Year, we're going to be offering the greatest deals for whatever you want. And you'll be able to save over 300 ringgit across rides, food, mart, pay later gifts, and even stand a chance to win a grand prize in the form of Grab Rewards. So that's all that we'd like to share with you on our upcoming festivities. And we hope you are supportive and allow your customers and employees to engage with us during those times. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, Camille and Kian, for the insightful sharings. So that sums up for today's presentation. And we're going to go ahead to go through the Q&A section for today's webinar. So we have quite a few questions to go through. I think I'll start off with this one. So how are companies using GrabGift vouchers for internal employees? Kian, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So I shared a couple of different ways that companies use it for marketing incentives, but I kind of only touched on ways in which employers can motivate employees. I can maybe use a use case. So during the pandemic, and this was not just one company, a ton of companies actually reached out about how to motivate their employees. Purely because GrabGifts are digital, because they can be distributed very easily without anyone being in person or physical. But we had OCBC reach out they needed their employees to get back to the office to continue their day-to-day duties, right? People needed money, right? Whether you were work from home or not, whether you were out and about or you were locked up at home, a lot of people still relied on cash. So the OCBC had about 3,000 employees that needed to get out to all of their branch. So they reached out and they asked us to help quickly turn around grab gift vouchers to allow, well, transport vouchers specifically to get their employees to and from various different branches and to the office. And so we did so. That became a recurring purchase. We have many different companies that use GrabGifts for sales incentives, right? If their employees, like as kind of pick-me-ups, in additional to just cash incentives, employees hit a certain quota or they achieve certain highlights, they're giving Grab gift vouchers as a once-off benefit or as kind of different perks. So we see a variety of different ways in which companies use it. And sometimes companies reach out and it's a new use case. So there are still different ways in which companies are getting more and more creative and motivating their employees with Grab gifts. I think one common thing that we see across the board is that employees are always very happy to receive it. We're very happy to be able to say that our app is popular amongst a lot of people. So when you get a voucher that you can use for your food, for your next food order, or you can choose to use it for transport, it's generally very well received by employees.
Thanks, Kian. Thanks for answering that question. On to the next question. How do I place a Grab gift order? And is it possible to have multiple denominations in one order? Kamil, do you want to take this question?
Sure. So right after this call, we will share you the deck with everyone. There's also a QR code that you can scan that would lead to my WhatsApp as well as my email. So to place an order, you can just reach out to me and my representative in Grab. We'll process the order accordingly. And yes, you can also do a multiple denominations per one single order form. You can choose how many quantity that you want. You can choose how different denominations that you want it to be as well.
Great, great. Okay, on to the next question. If I click to redeem food voucher, can I change the service type later? Do you want to take this as well, Kamil?
Sure. Unfortunately, no. So once you have redeemed a specific service type, again, the service type is up to you to choose whether it's food, whether it's Mart, Express, or even car. Once you've actually redeemed it and it's stored in your My Reward, you cannot change. You cannot change the voucher anymore. It is fixed at that particular service that you have chosen.
Great. Okay. On to the next question. How are the vouchers distributed to the end user? Kian, do you want to take this question?
Sure. So distributing to the end user is completely up to you. It depends on the way in which you purchase, really, right? If you purchase on the app, you can send it directly to a user very easily, no problem there. But again, that's not going to be really a corporate purchase. That might be just a personal one. Then you can purchase on our website. It'll be in one of the links that Camille and the team will share later on. In which case you can purchase a batch of vouchers and distribute it as you please, whether it's via WhatsApp, you can use mail merge, you can even send it via SMS if that's your preferred method of communication. And you can also then order in bulk in larger quantities using our order form. No matter which way you get the vouchers or which way you order them, if you're ordering in bulk, you'll get them in a CSV file. So you'll get one huge file with all of your vouchers separated by line item. Most of our customers, if they're distributing vouchers to a large number of recipients at once, use a simple mail merge technique. If you have a subscription to MailChimp or any of these email marketing tools, you could also use them. But since it's one link that you just need to include in your method of communication, you can choose mail merge or you can use one of these email techniques, whatever suits.
Great. The next question, I think this one's for you, Hassan. When can we expect festivities deals to start?
Okay, so usually festive deals will start about 2 weeks before the main festivity. And I think because we've got a really power-packed Q1 with Chinese New Year and Ramadan happening in the same time, right after the new year, you'll start to see those deals kick off.
Okay, Great, thank you so much. I think we have 2 more questions to go. The next question is, can I use my vouchers for overseas orders? So for example, if I purchase the vouchers in Malaysia or I get the voucher from my company in Malaysia, can I use the voucher if I were to, book a ride, for example, in Singapore? Kian, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, sure. So our vouchers are based on a currency. So when you give someone a voucher, you're giving them Malaysia ringgit or Singapore dollar, and therefore they can only be used in the country in which that currency is used. So for example, if I send you, Jason, I send you a 10 ringgit voucher, you can choose whether you want to use that in food or transport, but ultimately you will only be able to use it in Malaysia.
Great, great. And we have another question. Can the receiver use the corporate discounts for non-commercial rides, such as GrabGifts? Camille, do you want to take this question?
Sure. So yes, the answer is yes. So I think, Sammy, you are based in Singapore because there are different vertical or different service type options are available in different countries. So for Malaysia, there is no GrabGifts. But yes, in theory, you can use the Grab vouchers for any service type. So once you select car, you actually can use whichever the denominations that you have from your from the intended person who give it to you to use it whether for any type of Grab vehicles that is available in the country.
Maybe just to add on, since Hitch is a unique fleet type, which isn't in Malaysia, maybe Camille, you're not familiar, but Grab gift vouchers, that's the only fleet that they don't work on Grab Hitch, because it's on a separate platform, but they work on all other fleets. You were right about that part.
Okay, great. So one last question before we end today's session. Is there a discount for bulk purchase? Camille, do you want to take on this question?
Sure. And to give that answer, talk to us in terms of discount. We're more than happy to look into your order size. We do give from time to time a discount, and sometimes we offer like a seasonal discount as well to tie up with seasonal greetings. So contact to us, and we'll share with you our rate card even more.
Yep. Great. So thanks again. That brings us to the end of the webinar. Thank you once again for joining us today. And of course, to our speakers for the insightful sharing. We will also be sending out an email to everyone who attended today's webinar with further details and links for you to get in touch with us and to share your feedback. Thank you once again and have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.